Okay, buddy, this is Dad, and this is going to be a video tour of my trip to Brussels, Belgium. So we'll take a shot at this. Hopefully it won't be too confusing. Hopefully it'll be clear, but I want to actually take you on a trip similar to what I took, and hopefully this video will do it. So first of all, I wanted you to get perspective on where Belgium is at. Now maybe you already know that, and it's only those of us that are challenged with our geography that don't know it. But as you can see, Belgium is right here. The B, you can ignore that for right now, but that's actually the location of the conservatory. And A is Amsterdam, so I'm going to show you the route I took here in just a minute. But you can see where Belgium's at compared to Germany on the right, France down here at the bottom. There's the UK over here. And where's Italy? You probably know that better than I do, but let's zoom out here. And Italy is down here. So pretty good distance from Italy, but still part of Europe, so I'm sure it's just a train ride away. I'm sure it's a long train ride in that case. But let me zoom back in, and I'm going to show you. By the way, you can pause this anytime you want, so if I go too fast on looking at something, you can pause it, and then you'll be able to see it. So as we zoom in here, you'll see the route that I took from Amsterdam, which is north of Belgium. It was about a 2.5 hour train ride. So, and the scenery wasn't that great. We went through a lot of cities and all that. But the one thing I could tell you, we talked about the issue of validating your ticket. It looks like that they do validate it on the train when you're coming out of a major city. Like when I came out of Amsterdam, I didn't have to have it validated beforehand. It got validated just like they do with Amtrak here in the States once I got on the train. And they came around and they validated everybody. But what I did notice is that people that got on at little stops along the way, obviously the conductor had already come through and validated us, and he did not come back through for the people that got on at smaller stations. So I'm assuming that what happened with you is the reason you had to have it validated before you got on the train was probably because you were coming out of a small station. So that's what I'm assuming. But either way, he did validate it after I got on the train, and I didn't have to do it beforehand. So anyhow, let's go through this little trip. So went from Amsterdam, which frankly I wasn't real impressed with. Not sure I'd ever go back there. And then went south about 2.5 hours down to Brussels. Went through Antwerp, which was another main stop. But there was a lot of small stops along the way. So now I want to show you the train station where I came into. So this was the train station, went right to it. It was the main central train station. I'm going to show you in a second how close it is to the conservatory because it's actually pretty close. But let me just show you some pictures of it because actually it's a pretty nice train station. The whole train system, as you know, there is pretty good. So we'll just pop up here some pictures just so you can see it. That's not a great picture. But here's different pictures of the train station. I think that's the main entrance there. So no big deal, not a big deal. It looks like just a subway system. Don't need to take you down into the train station, but let's go back at the street view. So you'll notice that we can just look around here and see where it's at. Big circular entrance. But this just gives you an idea of the first thing I saw when I got there. Pretty clean city, pretty normal city based on American standards. There's the main entrance to the train station. So as you can see, it's very clean here, as it was everywhere I went. So now let's pop over to seeing where the train station is, which in this case I believe is B. So up here is B. I started at A. When I did these directions. So this is where the Royal Conservatory of Brussels is, where you'll be attending school. And then I put in walking distance. You can see you can walk there in 11 minutes. So figure 15 minutes you can walk to the main train station. Now there may be some more around here. We can figure that out. Seems to me there might have been a little stop for the train station up here when I was looking at the shopping area, which we're going to go through here in just a second. But I'm not sure, but worst case scenario to the main train station was only a a 15-minute walk, and by car, let's switch over here, we'll make it by car, it's a 4-minute drive. So by car, and then by bus it is it's 8 minutes. So pretty direct route. Let's see, where's it at? They don't really show you the route with a bus, but there's a bus station right there if you can see that. Let's zoom in a little bit. Oh, so I don't know if that means it's an 8-minute walk to the bus, or oh yeah, it looks like you have to walk to the bus and then it would be 8 minutes to the train station. So it might be just as quick to walk, or certainly you can take a cab. So that's it. As far as the train station to the conservatory. Let's look at it this way now. Let's just get a sort of a high-level view of where the conservatory is at, and I'll give you a high-level view of where I walked. So the conservatory is down here at A. You'll see I basically walked up this way. Then there's a wall here. I'm going to show you all this just a second, that I could overlook the entire city over here. And then right here is a Capitol building. It has construction on it. And then what I did is I walked down here, and then I walked all the way down through here. This was the shopping area that I told you about. So I'm just warning you that when Mom comes to visit you, that she should bring a friend, because she will think it's shopping heaven. And it will drive you crazy going shopping with her, because I'm sure she'll want to go shopping a lot. Because it literally, if you look at where you're at, here, let me zoom in a little bit, where the conservatory is at, which is right here. It's that building right there where you see the A, and it's that horseshoe looking building, which I'm going to give you a close up here in just a second. You literally just have to walk out here, and you can cut back some of these roads, and you're right up here. This is literally a block away, all this shopping, and it's really, really cool. Oh, I can't believe I said that. Shopping. Yes, it's great shopping. Also, I want to show you a few more things just from this aerial view of the conservatory, which is right there. Right behind it is a park. Right in here, you can walk right up the back of the conservatory, and over here is a nice park. I could picture you actually playing guitar out there, just relaxing. There was a lot of people out. It was a beautiful day the day I was there. Let's zoom in on it a little bit. And again, I'm going to walk you here, and you're going to see a lot closer views of this from the ground. But if you look at the conservatory, which is right here, you can see over here there's another little park. There's a fountain here. So you could walk out, turn to the right, go past this beautiful park. It's right next to the conservatory. Walk up here, and I think you go over here, and there's a little entrance somewhere over here where you can walk right into this park. Nice trees, a place to sort of lay out. It reminded me of like a college campus, but it was an open park. There were families out there. People had their babies in carriages and things like that. And then over here, I never really figured out what this is, but over here it looked like it was some kind of palace. It was really gorgeous, and it was all fenced off and all that. And it was right next to this little park. And then if you look up here, here's where I was telling you that I walked, and there's stores all along this double boulevard is what it was. Stores all the way along here. So that's an aerial view. We'll walk that here in just a second. Let me come back up here and show you where I walked. So again, I walked up here. Over here, I walked down this way. This is on my way back to the train station. I actually walked back to the train station. I walked down here, then I took a little left right here. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I walked down this way, this way, this way, this way. Then right here is where I took it was right here. Right there is where I took a left, and then I walked right through the park. Came in here, walked over through the park, then went over this way, and walked this way back to the train station. So that was sort of the route I took that I'm going to walk you through here in just a second. Before I took that route all the way around, though, what I did is when I first got there, because I was sort of confused when I got there, is I walked around the building here. So I got dropped off in the cab right here, and then I walked this block first, went up into the park, came back out, walked down here, walked down by this little park that had the fountain on it that was right next to the conservatory. Beautiful church that sits right there, which I'll show you a close-up here in just a minute. And then I walked all the way back up here and went on that route that I just showed you, all the way over here, down here, through the park, back to the train station. All right, so let's go ahead and walk that route right now. I'm going to show you my pictures here in just a minute, but this will give you a good idea of the pictures I'm going to show you where they're at, and actually Google Maps does a pretty good job of showing you the same pictures that I took.